People think the ocean is blue, beautiful, peaceful, from 10,000 feet maybe. But from 500 feet with one engine on fire and the other sputtering, watching it come up fast, it looks like concrete. Hard, unforgiving. The kind of surface that kills you just as dead as hitting the ground. Lieutenant Robert Chen, United States Navy, fighter pilot flying an F-6F Hellcat off the USS Essex. Chinese-American kid from San Francisco who grew up watching ships in the bay and dreaming about flying. Navy gave me that chance, gave me wings and a fighter plane and sent me to fight the Japanese in the Pacific. I was 24 years old in March of 1945. Been flying combat missions for 8 months. 14 confirmed kills, 3 probables. They called me an ace. Put my picture in the ship's newsletter. Made me feel invincible. That feeling lasted right up until a Japanese anti-aircraft gunner on Okinawa put a shell through my engine. I'd flown 53 missions by then. Strafing runs, combat air patrol, bomber escort. Done it all. Never took serious damage. A few bullet holes here and there. Nothing major. Started thinking maybe I was blessed. Maybe I had some kind of guardian angel. Turns out I was just lucky. And in war, luck always runs out. The morning of March 23rd started normal. Briefing at 0530 hours. Coffee that tasted like motor oil. Bad jokes from the other pilots trying to pretend we weren't all scared. Same routine as always. Our mission was close air support for the Marines landing on Okinawa. We'd go in low, strafe Japanese positions, try to make life easier for the ground pounders. Standard stuff. Milk run, we called it. Easy mission. Should have known better. There's no such thing as easy in war. We launched at 0630, 4 Hellcats in my flight. Me leading, then Jimmy Bradford from Texas, Danny Kowalski from Chicago, and Bobby Martinez from New Mexico. Good pilots, good men. We'd flown together since training. We headed toward Okinawa in formation, morning sun behind us, ocean stretching out forever below. Beautiful day to die. We reached Okinawa around 0715. The island was chaos. Naval bombardment lighting up the beaches, landing craft heading toward shore, smoke and fire everywhere. You could see tracers, explosions, the whole catastrophe of invasion playing out below. Our target was a Japanese artillery position on a ridge overlooking the beaches. Intelligence said they had big guns up there, shelling our boys as they landed. Our job was to shut them down. "Blue Flight, this is Blue Leader," I called over the radio. "Target is 12 o'clock, 2 miles. Follow me in. Watch for flak." I put the Hellcat into a dive. The other 3 followed. We screamed down from 8,000 feet, building speed, lining up on the target. That's when the sky filled with tracers. Anti-aircraft fire coming from multiple positions. The Japanese knew we were coming, had prepared a welcome. I saw red tracers arcing up toward us like deadly Christmas lights. Kept diving, had to commit, had to hit the target. I opened fire with my 650 caliber machine guns, saw my rounds chewing into the Japanese position, saw men running, diving for cover. Then something hit my plane. Hard. The whole aircraft shuddered. Warning lights lit up on my instrument panel, oil pressure dropping, temperature rising. I pulled out of the dive, started climbing, trying to get altitude. "Blue Leader's been hit," I called. "Taking damage." Looked over my left shoulder, oil streaming from the engine cowling, black smoke starting to trail behind me. Not good, very not good. "How bad?" Jimmy's voice on the radio. "Bad enough. Continuing mission. Stupid. Should have turned back right then. But I was the flight leader. Couldn't leave my guys to finish the job alone. Pride. Stupid goddamn pride." We made 2 more passes on the target. By the 3rd pass, my engine was running rough. Temperature gauge pegged in the red. More smoke. The Hellcat was dying under me. "Blue Leader, you need to RTB," Danny said. "Return to base. That engine's gonna quit." "Roger. Heading home. Blue 2, you have the lead." I turned away from Okinawa, pointed the nose toward where the carrier should be. About 60 miles out to sea, 15 minutes of flying. The engine quit after 5. Just stopped. 1 second it was running rough, the next it was silent except for the wind, the propeller windmilling uselessly. I was 40 miles from the carrier, at 3,000 feet, in a dead aircraft, gliding. That's all I was doing. Gliding toward the ocean. And the math was simple. I didn't have enough altitude to make it back. I was going swimming. First thing I did was call it in. Mayday, mayday. Blue leader going down. Position approximately 40 miles northwest of Okinawa. Engine out. Ditching in the ocean. Roger, blue leader, we have your position. Air-sea rescue is scrambling. Hold on. Hold on. Like I had a choice. I started going through the emergency procedures. Done them 100 times in training, never thought I'd need them for real. Trim the aircraft for best glide speed. Jettison the canopy so it doesn't trap you when you hit the water. Tighten your straps. Prepare for impact. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, not yet anyway. From adrenaline. From the reality that in about 3 minutes I was going to crash into the Pacific Ocean at 90 miles per hour. I could see the other planes from my flight circling above me. They couldn't do anything to help. Just watch. Bear witness. Maybe guide rescue to where I went down, if I survived the crash. The ocean was coming up fast. I was at 1,500 feet. Then 1,000. Then 500. I could see individual waves now. White caps, the water rough, choppy, worst conditions for ditching. I'd been trained on how to do this. Put the plane down parallel to the waves, not into them. Keep the nose up. Try to land on the tail first. Slide along the surface instead of nosing in. In training, they made it sound manageable, survivable. They lied. At 200 feet, I leveled out, pulled back on the stick, trying to bleed off speed without stalling. The Hellcat wanted to drop, wanted to nose in. I fought it. 100 feet. 50 feet. I could see the water clearly now. See how rough it was. See how much this was going to hurt. Here we go, I said to nobody, or maybe to God, or maybe just to myself. I pulled the stick back, flared. The tail hit first, a violent jolt that snapped my head back. Then the rest of the plane hit and the world exploded. The impact was like hitting a brick wall. The plane cartwheeled, flipping forward, throwing me against the straps. Water burst through the cockpit. The nose dug in and the whole aircraft started to go under. I was upside down, or sideways. Couldn't tell. Water everywhere. Couldn't see, couldn't breathe. The plane was sinking and I was still strapped in. Panic, pure animal panic. Fumbling for the harness release with numb fingers, can't find it, can't see. Water in my nose, my mouth. The plane pulling me down into the dark. Found the release, punched it, the straps let go, and I kicked free, swimming up, or what I thought was up. Lungs burning, vision starting to gray out. Broke the surface, gasping, sucking in air like a drowning man because that's exactly what I was. The plane was gone, sunk in seconds, just bubbles and debris on the surface. My life raft, supposed to automatically deploy, had torn loose in the impact. Gone. Nothing but me and my Mae West life jacket in the middle of the Pacific. I was alive. For now. But out here alone, that could change fast. The first hour wasn't too bad. I could still see my flight circling overhead. Jimmy was still up there, radiating my position, making sure rescue knew where I was. That gave me hope. Someone was coming. Had to be. The water was cold. Not freezing like the Atlantic, but cold enough. Maybe 70 degrees. You can survive in that for hours. Days even, if you're lucky. I wasn't worried about the cold. I was worried about everything else. Sharks. These waters were full of them. Every sailor knew the stories. Men who ditched and were never found, or found with pieces missing. I kept my legs still, tried not to splash. Splashing attracted them. Thirst. surrounded by water, but couldn't drink any of it. Salt water would kill you faster than no water. My mouth was already dry. How long had it been? 2 hours? 3? I'd lost my watch in the crash. Lost everything except what I was wearing. Flight suit, boots, Mae West, my service pistol, which was useless now, waterlogged. No survival kit, no raft, no signal flares, nothing. Just me floating in the middle of nowhere, watching my flight circle overhead until they ran low on fuel and had to leave. Blue Leader, this is Blue 2. We're bingo fuel. Have to RTB. Rescue knows your position. They're coming. Hold on. Roger, Blue 2. Thanks for staying. See you back on the ship, Bobby. Yeah, see you. I watched them leave. Watched the 4 Hellcats turn and head east toward the carrier. Watched them disappear into the distance. Then I was alone. The ocean is quiet when you're floating in it. Just the sound of waves lapping. Your own breathing. That's all. No other sounds. No birds. No boats. Nothing. Just you and the water stretching to the horizon in every direction. I tried to stay calm. Tried to conserve energy. Float. Don't panic. Rescue is coming. But as the hours passed, doubt crept in. What if they couldn't find me? What if the current had pushed me off course? What if the rescue plane had mechanical trouble? What if they'd given up? The sun was brutal. No shade, no cover. Just beating down on my head. I could feel my skin burning, my lips cracking, the thirst getting worse. I started thinking about water, cold water, ice water, beer, anything liquid. Couldn't stop thinking about it. My tongue felt like leather in my mouth. By what I guessed was afternoon, I was getting delirious. Started seeing things. A ship on the horizon, but when I looked again, nothing there. A rescue plane, but it was just a bird, or maybe nothing at all. I thought about my parents, my sister, the girl I'd been writing letters to back home. Wondered if they'd get a telegram. Missing in action, or would it be killed in action? Did it matter? Started to wonder if I'd see the sunset, if I'd make it through the night. Started to wonder if dying out here alone might not be so bad. Just fall asleep and drift away. Peaceful. I don't know how long I was out there. Felt like days. Might have been 6 hours. Might have been 8. Time stopped meaning anything. The sun was getting lower. Golden light on the water. Would have been beautiful if I wasn't dying. That's when I heard the engine. Faint at first. Thought I was imagining it. Another hallucination. But it got louder. Definitely an engine. Definitely real. I tried to shout. Couldn't. My throat was too dry. Tried to wave my arms but could barely lift them. The cold and exhaustion had sapped all my strength. The plane appeared, a PBY Catalina flying boat, painted blue, U.S. Navy markings. The most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. They flew right over me. Didn't see me. Kept going. Number. No. Come back. I'm here. I'm right here. I fumbled for my pistol, pulled it out, tried to fire it as a signal, pulled the trigger. Nothing. Waterlogged. Dead. The plane was disappearing, banking away. They'd missed me. Something broke inside me then. Some last bit of hope or strength or will to survive. I stopped fighting, stopped trying, just floated there watching the plane fly away. This was it. This was how I died. Not in combat, not shot down by an enemy ace, just drowning slowly in the Pacific because a rescue plane flew right over me and didn't see me. But then the PBY banked again. Came back, lower this time. I saw someone in the blister window pointing down. They'd seen me. They'd actually seen me. The flying boat circled once, then came in for a landing. Touched down on the water maybe 200 yards away. The most ungainly, beautiful landing I'd ever witnessed. They taxied toward me. Someone opened the side door, threw me a line. I tried to grab it, but my hands weren't working right. Couldn't grip anything. Two sailors jumped in, swam over to me, got me in a harness and pulled me to the plane. Hauled me up through the door like a dead fish. I lay on the deck of the flying boat, shivering, gasping. Someone wrapped me in a blanket. Someone else was giving me water. Just sips. Not too much at once. "You okay, Lieutenant?" One of the sailors. Young kid. Couldn't have been more than 19. I tried to answer, couldn't form words, just nodded. "You're one lucky son of a bitch," the kid said. "We almost didn't see you." Sun was in our eyes. If the pilot hadn't decided to make one more pass. He didn't finish the sentence. Didn't need to. They flew me back to the carrier, got me to sick bay. The doc checked me over. Severe sunburn, dehydration, mild hypothermia. But alive. Somehow, impossibly alive. Jimmy came to see me that night, sat by my bunk. Didn't say anything for a long time, just sat there. "Thought we'd lost you," he finally said. "Me too." "You going back up?" Was I? Could I? The thought of getting back in a cockpit, of flying over that endless ocean, knowing what waited down there if anything went wrong. "Yeah," I said. "I'll go back up." Another lie. I'd go back up because I had to, because that was the job. But I'd never be the same pilot again. I flew 17 more missions before the war ended. Every single one I was terrified. Not of the Japanese, of the ocean. Every time I took off from that carrier, I'd look down at the water and feel my chest tighten. Every time we flew over open ocean, I'd check my fuel gauge obsessively, calculate my glide distance, plan my ditching procedure, over and over, couldn't stop. The other pilots noticed. Jimmy pulled me aside once. "You okay, Bobby? You seem different." "I'm fine." "You sure? Because if you need to talk to the doc, get grounded for a bit." I said I'm fine. But I wasn't. I was breaking, flying on borrowed time and broken nerves. When the war ended in August, I was relieved. Not happy. Too much death for happiness. Just relieved it was over. That I wouldn't have to fly over that ocean anymore. They sent us home in September. Big celebration. Ticker tape parade in San Francisco. My parents were so proud. My sister cried. Everyone wanted to hear about my kills, my medal, my adventures. Nobody wanted to hear about floating in the ocean for 8 hours, waiting to die. I got out of the Navy in 1946. Used the GI Bill to go to college. Got a degree in engineering. Got a job with Boeing. Married Susan, a school teacher who didn't ask about the war. We have a son, good kid. Wants to be a pilot when he grows up. I told him no. Don't care how much he wants it. He's not flying. Not if I have anything to say about it. Susan doesn't understand. Thinks I'm being too hard on him. But she wasn't there. Didn't feel what it's like to be alone in the middle of the Pacific, watching your plane sink, knowing nobody might find you. I can't swim anymore. Can't even look at swimming pools without feeling my chest tighten. We live in Seattle, water everywhere, and I can't go near it. Can't take the ferry to Bainbridge, can't go to the beach with my family. Susan took our son to the ocean last summer. I stayed home, made up some excuse about work, sat in our living room drinking whiskey and trying not to think about waves. Nightmares are constant. Same dream. I'm in the water. The plane just went down. I'm waiting for rescue, but it never comes. The sun sets, the sun rises, days pass, I'm still floating, still waiting, and I know, in that dream logic way, that I'll be floating there forever. I wake up gasping, sheets soaked with sweat. Susan learned to sleep through it. I'm 34 years old. Should have my whole life ahead of me. But I'm trapped. trapped by 8 hours in the Pacific 5 years ago. 8 hours that broke something inside me that never healed. They gave me an air medal for those 14 kills. It's in a box somewhere. Haven't looked at it in years. Don't care about it. The only thing I care about is that I'm alive, that the PBY came back, that the pilot made one more pass. But sometimes I wonder if it would have been easier if they hadn't found me, if I'd just slipped under and been done with it. No nightmares, no fear, no broken man pretending to be normal for his wife and kid, just peace. I survived that crash, survived the war, came home to parades and celebration in the American dream. But I never left that ocean. Part of me is still out there, still floating, still waiting, still watching the sun get lower and wondering if I'll see another sunrise. Still alone in all that water with nothing but fear for company. We never came back. Not really. The war ended, but the drowning never stops.